to Trailblazers Inc. podcast. Joining us today is Red Seal endorsed journeyman electrician from Newfoundland, but now living in Alberta, Erin Keough, who's been in the trade for 12 years. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Yes, so you're on maternity leave now, and you have 2 kids. Congratulations. I hope you're enjoying all of your break, really, right? Maternity leave is a nice break, especially when you have a little one.
It's a break from work, but there's no break.
Parenthood, there's never a break. Never a break, is there? We actually, we started to get together for podcasts that discuss childcare. So I will definitely invite you to the next podcast, which should be in a week or 2, I think. But yeah, childcare is a whole different ballgame when you're in the trades, isn't it? Definitely.
Oh, big time. There's
definitely
not many that accommodate us.
No, but let's get into that later. Let's get some more information about you. How did you get started in the trades?
When I was in high school, we did one course that touched on different trades. We did like plumbing, there was painting, electrical, and for some reason electrical just stuck with me. I have no idea why. It was just that one course.
And that was in Newfoundland then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful, really. So that was in high school. What did you do after high school? Did you find a job in the electrical trades, or did you find a company to help you get in?
I went and did a pre-employment course. It's 9 months in Newfoundland.
Okay.
And after I graduated, because women in trades weren't a big thing then, it took me 2 years to get a job, actually. And the Office to Advance Women Apprentices in Newfoundland actually helped me get my first electrical job.
Yes, so I hear. I've heard a lot of wonderful things about the Offices to Advance Women Apprentices, and that's kind of how you and I met. We were introduced through the program. I didn't take the program, but it's through the connections that we both have with them. And there are, I believe, 6 Offices to Advance Women Apprentices in 6 different provinces now. So I can't wait to see the wonderful things that come of the new branches, because the one in Newfoundland is quite successful.
Yeah, if it wasn't for them, I don't know where I would be right now.
Yeah, they really assist along the way, don't they? They're just such a they're a great link, right? They're a great connection to have, for sure. So how far have you explored your trade?
I worked in, my first was residential, and I did commercial, and I also worked industrial up like northern Alberta on the camps. And so I did experience all the different,
all the areas, all the aspects.
Yeah, all the aspects of it.
Do you have a favorite?
I loved residential. It was, I don't know if it was because it was my first job, but it was just like constantly working, like never stopping, and everyone in building their house had something different, really. Like, oh, they wanted a hot tub, or they wanted like a theater in their basement. Just different, but you're constantly working hard, and you're like working for nothing.
Yeah, well, it's fun, right? When you're busy, and it's always something new every day. It's not boring, right? It's always interesting, and you enjoy it. There's always going to be boring aspects, I think, of any job, whether it's a trade or not. But if you can find your favorite and be able to do it for a long time, my favorite is industrial welding. That was always, or working in a new fabrication fab shop. Yeah.
Okay.
There's always favorite parts of it, right? And I think something that's really important to point out is when you get into the trades, there's so many different areas that you can work in. Like, people think of electricians and wiring in a house, but you could do wiring in a plant site. You could do wiring in a hospital. You can do wiring. I mean, electricians even work on aircraft, do they not?
Yeah. Like, there's electrical everywhere, so you need electricians like for everything.
Yeah,
but I did like working up north. I like meeting everyone and getting connections from different like provinces. Even like you can move anywhere, you know, this person, that person.
Yeah.
So working in Northern Alberta has its ups too.
Yeah, definitely. And you're Red Seal, so your certification is recognized across the country. So you really could go anywhere you want, and you don't have to, you know, have any upgrading or any changes to your certification. That's very, very true. Your favorite aspect of your trade, I guess, would be residential. Yes.
Yeah, and just learning, like meeting people who have different tricks to different things. I love like to keep learning.
That's great. And in any trade, you're always learning. There's always new things coming. And I mean, I don't think I've ever met anybody that knows everything there is to do in their trade. It'll never happen.
There's people who think they know.
Exactly. And those are usually the ones that know the least, to be honest, right? So what obstacles have you overcome along the way?
Well, like I said previously, when I first graduated, it was hard to get a job back home in Newfoundland. Yeah. So that like it kind of put me off being an electrician because it just no one would hire me because I was female, which pissed me off.
Yeah, that's true.
And now, since having my first child, I realized the trades aren't really meant for moms. Like there's no lenient, there's no, okay, take an hour, your kid is sick. There's no holidays, really.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing now.
Yeah. When you have kids in the trade, everything changes, right? I was already certified, and it sounds like, you definitely were already had your certification before you started having kids. It's hard on apprentices too. But childcare is a huge issue. Your little ones are still very little, but you've had issues already, haven't you?
Yeah, it took us, I had to start looking for childcare when my first was like 6 months old, just to make sure we had something when I went back to work. Thankfully, we found a great lady who's open at 6 o'clock in the morning and feeds breakfast.
That's perfect. Yeah, well, and that's just it. You have to find somebody that is open and available for the hours that you're working, because nobody really wants their child to be in childcare for 12 hours a day. But if we could start our childcare at 6 a.m. until 2 or 4, it's still a shorter day, but I mean, they still have to open early for us, because a lot of times your shift starts at 6 or 7, and if your daycare doesn't open until 7, well, you're not going to get to work till probably 8, right? So, and a lot of times the contractors are not okay with you starting at 8, and then other people, kind of look at you and think, oh, well, special treatment, and it just snowballs. But it's really, we're finding that it's affecting a lot of the dads as well, right? Because there's a lot of people that have shared custody of kids. There's a lot of single dads that guys that are raising their own kids. So it's in the trades across the board, across the country. But I'm wondering what they do in the medical field, because they work shifts too. So I have to do some prying, some investigating.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll ask. I have some people who are nurses and in healthcare. I'll have to ask those.
Yeah. Well, when I do the childcare podcast, you can bring all your facts and figures and your findings, and we'll explore that when we do that podcast. Okay, so did you have other women to look up to for support while you were on your journey? Now, you mentioned offices to advance women apprentices. Was there, I mean, if you want to speak on what they did for you, and was there anybody else?
Well, I got in contact with them. The one lady is actually from my hometown. I guess she's the manager. She runs it, Karen Welch. So we kept in contact, and I met them. Like went in and met them, and they sent out my resume towards people and one company hired me. But I just met a lot of females along the way, and like they went through the same obstacles that we've all been through. And some I have lifelong friends now, and we chit chat and bitch and complain about people we work with, you know, husbands, and just like how hard it can be for us.
Yeah. So you have your circle of
Yeah.
women that have similarities. No, that you need that. You really do, because it's tough. It's tough. When I was coming through 25 years ago, or however long ago that was, there really wasn't many women, right? I had a lot of welders in the family, but no women welders in my family, and not a lot of women around. A few. There were a few, but not a whole ton. So if you can find your network, your circle, that, or your tribe, I think some people call it. You might. It's better. It makes you feel better, and then you have people to like you said, blow off steam. Guess what happened at work today? Can you believe this? You know, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
So,
and like your friends who aren't in the trades, they get it, but they don't get it. So, and my dad's a carpenter and a scaffolder, so he kind of understands. But
exactly.
Really.
Yeah, it's good if you, I mean, friends that are in the trades can relate. They, even if they're not in the same trade, they're like, yeah, job site, I know what it's like to deal with the bathroom, or, you know, job sites and people, and, you know, people that steal your tools, or, you know, the typical daily issues that we have, right? Or bosses that are unruly or venting on you, and you don't need that crap, right? But
no,
it's great. And now that you're in Alberta, you have me. I don't know how long you've been in Alberta, but you can definitely reach out to me anytime. And Alberta Women in Trades Facebook page is wonderful. You'll have to connect with them if you haven't already. Yeah.
I don't think I have.
I help out as much as I can, so that I'm on the admin team. But yeah, we do a lot of incredible things. We tried to meet in person before COVID hit. We did have one meeting, and then that was it. So, yeah.
We can have a socially distanced outside meeting now.
Well, we did try to have a virtual kind of drink event, you know, a Christmas drink kind of thing, and nobody really showed up. So there was like 4 of us. So I was like, well, okay, we enjoyed it. We had a good time, but yeah.
I would have been there.
Maybe we need to advertise a little bit more. Well, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, so maybe. Oh, St. Patty's Day, you got your green on already. She's ready to roll.
It's my favorite day of the year.
Is it? I went years and years without having a green beer, and then finally I broke down. I'm like, I'm going to start. I'm part Irish. I need to start celebrating St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, right. I'm Irish too, and it's a big shindig in Newfoundland.
I bet I would love to. I got screeched in when I was in Newfoundland. That was like a year and a half ago. That was fun. That was a good time.
That's a lovely drink, isn't it?
Yeah, the big old kiss the fish. Yeah. What is it, a cod? I don't even know what it was. It was interesting.
Kiss a cod.
I still have the certificate around here somewhere. I'm not going to put it up with
good. No, you should. That should be in the middle.
That should be, yeah, that's right. I need a bigger wall. I got to move the shelf. I got more plaques. I can put my screech one up there. Anyways,
that's a good one.
Yeah. What does a day in the life of you look like? Now you can talk about a day when you're on the tools, or you can talk about a day as a mother of 2.
Well, right now I'm off at probably like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning for the day, besides the wake ups throughout the night. Basically feeding 2 kids and changing diapers and cooking and trying to keep your house clean, which is near impossible.
Yes. Now, how old are your kids? Because you told me before I started recording. So how old are your little ones?
My oldest one is 2 and my youngest one is 5 months. So it's
that's a busy house.
There's crying, there's tears, there's poop, there's milk, snacks upon snacks. But I wouldn't change it for the world. They're my life right now, and they come before anything.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think anybody with kids can relate to that, right? Yeah, my son is the ruler of my universe. Maybe not so much now that he's a teenager, but for a good many years, he was the ruler of my universe. Everything I did revolved around him, and rightfully so. You only get one chance to make it good, right? So, yeah, do it
Yeah,
right.
just making memories. Well, not that you're going to remember, but
Okay.
pictures.
Yeah, I think I remember things from when I was really little. So yeah, I think that's all good. I think I
Yeah,
was
we
in
bake.
rollers. What's that? And you bake?
We bake. We'll do arts and crafts, like
Yeah.
little stuff to keep Sophie occupied.
Yeah.
She's interested in all of that now.
That's
So
fun. Yeah. Baking. Then you got to eat the cookies and you got to decorate the cookies. And oh, yeah, it's just all fun. Hey.
yeah, she loves to eat too. So
Awesome. Awesome. So do you have any advice for others that may be looking to get into the trades?
be confident. Don't like if this is what you want to do, go for it. Do it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's never a stupid question. I'm still asking questions. Like got it. And be yourself and have fun. Like enjoy it. Don't it hmm. It can be a bit intimidating at times. I'm not gonna lie. There's times where I wanted to quit and just not be an electrician anymore, but I'm so glad I stuck with it. It's it's definitely rewarding knowing that you can do better job than any
Yeah.
man out there.
Yeah, well, and just to speak to what you said in the beginning there, it took you 2 years to find a job, so
Yeah.
you didn't give up. And I think
No.
that happens to a lot of women, right? Joining the trades because number one, they're not experienced yet. People don't know if they seriously want to be in that trade. They don't really want to invest if they are not sure. And sometimes they haven't ever had a woman on site, so they're not like they're a little reluctant. And it's to me, it's so strange. I mean, we don't ask for anything really except for gloves that fit. My hands aren't overly small, but some women have issues with gloves and stuff that fit. And I'd like a clean separate bathroom, which usually I get the
Yeah.
secretary's bathroom. The secretaries might not want me coming in with my dirty coveralls, but at least there's a bathroom for me, right? Or a different porta potty or whatever the case may be, right? And yeah, I think when you say, it's intimidating at times. I think I think it's safe to say that in any job that you will ever have, like becoming a doctor has days where
Oh,
it's intimidating.
definitely.
So, accounting, everybody has days where it's like, oh, I can't handle this. This is too hard for me. Or I just, I give up, or you're having a bad day or whatever. And then you go home. I always tell people, go home. The day's over, relax. There's a new day's going to start tomorrow. Start fresh. Come on back, and things will be different. But you have to, remain positive about it. Yeah, and I still have bad days when I'm an instructor now, so I'll have nothing will work for me, and I'll say, okay, well, let's just get this day over with, and we'll start fresh tomorrow. Right?
Yeah,
What more you can
that's
do than
true. It's just
that.
like being a mom. You have bad days. Some days the kids cry all day, but you know what? You get up the next day and hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the final remarks are yours. If there's anything else that we haven't discussed that you'd like to share or talk about or make a statement or
Oh. I I'm just so glad I came into this trade. I know when I first started, there wasn't very many women, and my parents were like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And now they're so proud that I've come this far, and I'm a Red Seal journey person. And stick to it. If this is what you want to do, go for it. There's more women out there. We're all have each other's back, and it's more like the guys that I worked with pre-babies were amazing. Even pregnant, I was shocked that they were so accommodating and open-minded about it, like letting me do what I knew I could do. And if I was nervous while being pregnant, they were like, yeah, we'll help you. And it was great. Like I met some wonderful people that I have friends for a lifetime now.
Exactly. You know, that's so true. We talk about that a lot on the podcast, and I say that all the time. I don't have any true brothers of my own, but I have hundreds, if not thousands, of brothers in the trades now, and we have a lot of fun sometimes while we're working.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the camaraderie is just like, as long as the job's getting done and, you know, we're not breaking any safety rules, we have a lot of fun teasing each other or joking or hiding tools or whatever it is, right? You know, I made the mistake of telling, we had these apprentices helpers that would help us in this one weld shop that I worked in. And I told them that I hate pink because everybody always insisted that I should wear pink, like in my early years. So I'm wearing pink today because it's like the pink shirt day, bully day. But this is like my only pink shirt and it's like 8 years old. But anyways, I made the mistake of telling them I didn't like pink. So I went and I thought, as soon as I said that, I thought, oh no, I shouldn't have said that. I came back and there was one wrench that I had to hang up that we always use for switching out the pipe on the turner. And I came back and my wrench was painted pink. Oh, you guys. But you know what? Nobody stole it. It never moved.
No.
It never got stolen. So
I have pink boots.
Oh, do you see? There are tradeswomen who love the pink thing, and then there are tradeswomen who are like anti-pink. And if anybody buys me a flowered tool, they may eat it. I don't want it. Do you have flowered tools?
No, I don't have no pink tools. None of that. I have pink boots. That's it. Like,
yeah. Well, people used to always tell me.
Pink though.
Yeah. See, to me, it was just shoved in my face so much that I grew this hate. People always wanted me to get a pink welding rig, and it was just getting out of hand. It was getting out of hand. But speaking of, like you were saying about the pride that you have in your work, are you like a lot of other tradespeople where you're driving down the street and you say, "Oh, I did the electrical in that place, and I did the electrical."
Yeah, when I brought my boyfriend, my kid's dad's home, and we're driving, I'm like, oh, I wired this house, I did this.
That's so true. And the children or spouses of tradespeople, I mean, I'm sure they get sick of it. My son all the time is like, Mom, I know. Yeah, you work there. Stop it, right? Yes, Mom. Yeah. Right? But it's true. Yeah.
I worked up, well, I guess when I came here where it was more of like a mod yard. So like all the mods are gone up north now. I'm like, oh, we did this mod for that one. And or if you hear something of some site up in Fort Mac, I'm like, oh, I worked on that site, I did this. He's like, okay, cool.
It is cool though. Like, it is really cool. It's so nice to be, to know that you're a part of something big that's going to be there for, I mean, who knows how long, hundreds of years? I don't know. Who knows, right? But that there is such a pride when you work in the trades. That, I mean, you don't have to even talk about it. You did the job like a really top-notch job because you have the training and you have, the skills to do that, and you walk away just proud of yourself, even if you don't even say a word. It's just incredible. And I think that's one thing that people don't know about working in the trades that you can get. I don't knock people going to school and becoming doctors, lawyers, and nurses, but I always say, where do those people work? They work in buildings that tradespeople have built. Right? You've done the wiring for it. I might have done, I mean, who knows what I could do the structural or whatever, the plumbing, the welded pipe part of it. And then you've got carpenters and you've got cement masons and you've got like all these different trades, right? Gas fitters. So where would everybody be without us?
Trades work is never going anywhere. You'll always need a tradesperson.
Absolutely. And you're very rarely out of work. Right?
Yeah,
unless you're on maternity leave.
Or if a global pandemic happens, one or the other.
Well, I've noticed that, at least in the plumbing and pipe fitting, and it's got to be the same in the electrical trade, that when the pandemic hit, all of a sudden we were needed to set up these smaller hospital areas and hurry up and come and set, like I know in Toronto, some of our people in like coliseums and auditoriums and stuff, they were setting up makeshift hospitals and stuff. And it was just like all of a sudden it was just boom, everybody was busy, right? It was the opposite for a while there. Yeah, it's really incredible. But yeah, hopefully all the restrictions lift.
I know electrical, there's a lot of people out of work. I know, like, since the pandemic hit, like up and down. So hopefully it will pick back up. That's just from what I see, like on Facebook and stuff groups. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, out of work. And I'm like, go, like, there's so many jobs. Like, I see ads up, go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it depends on what area you're willing to work in. And I did my first commercial job, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. And I'd never worked commercial before. So I moved to the Calgary area 7 years ago with intentions of working industrial up here. And then there was, all the industrial positions were filled and there was just nothing available. And I didn't want to travel because of course, I'm a single mom, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't really want to do that. But yeah, I started working commercial. It's so different than industrial, so different. The pay is less, but it's just a whole different atmosphere. It's not as strict. It's, I had to catch an elevator that hung on the outside of the building all the way up. And it was like, it had windows that you could feel the air. I've never been in, I think they call it, I want to say a tram, that might be wrong. But yeah, I thought, well, what the heck is this? Right? What is going on here? We would carry the welding machine up the floor, down the floor, and it was just such a different thing. And I'm glad I did it. Like, I'm glad I experienced that, because you should experience as many things about your trade as you can. I haven't done pipeline, but like you said, you've done a lot of the aspects of the electrical trade. So
yeah, it's been a while. Like, I did commercial recently, industrial, and residential I haven't done for years. But like, houses are houses.
Yeah, well, I suppose, but well, I think when you explore all the areas of your trade, then you can find a favorite, right? I don't think you can have a favorite until you've tried at least a lot of it, right? A lot of my family worked pipeline. I could live without the pipeline story. I've heard enough. Doesn't mean I have to have it myself.
I would like the industrial money all the time.
Yes. Industrial rate of pay is it's nice. Yeah. But then again, there's always more options too. And we bring this up on the podcast a lot. As an electrician, same with me, in any of the trades, you can become a foreman, a general foreman, a supervisor. If you're union, then you can do the BABM thing, right? There's just so much. And you could go on to get your blue seal, gold seal, electrical engineering, you could be a rep, you could be like, there's just so much that people don't realize you could do after you have that ticket in your hand, right? It's an amazing thing. I'm an instructor now. I never, thought of that when I first joined the trades. And I did it a little bit early on in my trade just because the artists in the community asked me to. And now here I am doing it again. It's just sort of like, okay, I just kind of go where the path pushes me, right? And it's, okay, I'll try that for a while. I'll do that. Why not, right? And that's one of the benefits about being in the trades.
Yeah, and there's a lot of behind the scenes, like the estimators, the planners, all, like, you know what you're doing, so, and you have good organizational skills and can do it. There's so many options.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you. I know it's getting late at my house and it's been a long day. So I appreciate you taking the time to do a podcast with me. I really, really appreciate that. I'm going to stop the recording now, but stay on the line with me for a little bit. I want to chat with you afterwards. Okay. I send a little swag to people that do podcasts with me. So we got to chat a little bit. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And you take care. Thanks so much. Bye now.
Thank you.